Hi, I'm Craig, and I help veterans go from feeling stuck and unseen after service to living with confidence, connection, and purpose so that they can thrive in civilian life and relationships.
Guys, I'm back, and yesterday was so fun. I figured, let's do it again, Let's do it again, do it again. All right, enough of that. Here's the topic of this video today. Because we had so much fun on yesterday, today we're gonna do 5 more warning signs, 5 more reasons to be aware and to avoid VA claim companies. 5 more reasons to be aware and avoid VA claim companies. And I had to make sure, I put lotion on the elbows this morning so that if I'm doing like this and pontificating, you guys could see well moisturized elbows. All right, and the occasion of this video is once again going out to get some food for the wife and I. This time it's Sunday and it's a Sunday brunch-ish. And so excited to bring this video to you guys. And also, again, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys who are watching and subscribing. Thank you so much. I hope that the information that we are providing on this channel at Royal Rock Wellness is helping you, is giving you some answers to what you need with regard to your VA claim, and even some other answers that you need with regard to your career transition or guidance or federal work or anything like that. All of those types of things are available on my channel, and I am glad to bring it to you. If you love what we're doing, if you appreciate what we bring to the table, feel free to buy us a coffee, of any amount. It doesn't matter. We are here to help veterans. We are here to help their families, and we are here to help anybody who needs mental health solutions or career solutions or post-military transition solutions, all of that. We're here to help. All right, let's get to it. Reason number 6 as to why you should stay away from VA claim companies are because you are your own advocate. You are your own advocate. What do I mean by that? Regardless of what you decide to do, whether you decide to go with a VA claim company, whether you decide to go with my company, whether you decide to go with a VSO or have a lawyer do it or an accredited agent do your claim for compensation, at the end of the day, you will always and forever be your own best advocate. Remember what we talked about in previous videos, and that is the actual prosecution or submission of your claim is only but a part of all of the aspects or elements that you need for a successful claim. Remember, you'll submit documentation, you'll have a current diagnosis, you'll have proof that you actually served honorably, which is just the whole administrative piece of it. But then also remember, there is the CMP exam. And at the CMP exam, that is the opportunity for you to be your own best advocate about what's going on with you mentally, emotionally, physically, or socially or occupationally. It's your opportunity to express to that particular examiner what's going on. And let me take a step further. You are also your own best advocate when you are going regularly to your medical appointments post-military, and when you're expressing all of the concerns and issues and problems that you're having. You are the advocate in those moments and at that time. No other company or no VSO or anybody else can actually sit you down and ultimately prepare you for those moments. At the end of the day, it has to be something that you determine, hey, listen, I'm going to use my words. I'm going to express how this condition is debilitating me. I'm going to express my story and the narrative of how I got to the place I'm at, because I know I'm not right. I know that something's going on with me and it's not good and I need help. The very best person to express that to any examiner, any mental health professional, anybody, any VSO or anybody, the very best person to be an advocate for that, so that when that rater sees when that rater sees your record, when that rater sees your claim, the very best person to discuss that, the very best person to lay that out is you, the veteran. So, number 6 is you are your own best advocate. Number seven is the boomerang effect. It's what I'm calling the boomerang effect. What do I mean by the boomerang effect? Think about this for a second. Every single person who does this kind of work, whether it's me or anybody else, and I do have it, every person should have some kind of disclaimer on their channel, on their website, in the contract. And in every contract that I do with every client that I have, I am very clear that this is not the preparation, this is not the prosecution, this is not the planning of or presenting of any claim to the VA on the veteran's behalf. We are not authorized to do that. It's illegal for us to do that. VA regulations prohibit, VA regulations, DOD regulations, and federal regulations prevent us from doing that. Right? We are in a role of administrative guidance. We are in a role of idea generation with regard to how to write statements and buddy letters and all of those things, and claim strategy. Right? VA claim companies can be very effective in doing that. But the boomerang effect is this. Because we cannot represent you directly to the VA, it's going to come back around where you're going to have to go to a VSO or an accredited agent or an attorney anyway if you go to a higher level review. If you do a BVA, Board of Veterans Appeals, nobody but that group of people who are recognized and authorized by the VA can actually represent you. They can stand before you in that hearing room or in that courtroom or wherever you might be. They're the only ones who can stand before you or stand with you when you make your case. And we'll talk about this in another video, but all those cases are ex parte. So that means that the VA won't even have a representative for you. The VA has a responsibility, and this is coming out in the video probably either next week or the week after that I'm doing. The VA has a responsibility to prepare you for those hearings and give you the information that you need, right? But they have no responsibility to represent you. That means you have to get a VSO, an accredited agent, or an attorney to stand with you while you're trying to fight your claim. So the boomerang effect is this. These VA claims company can tell you everything. That they can give you all this smoke and mirrors. They can give you all this cotton candy. They can give you all this stuff, this fluff, right? But at the end of the day, you may have to go back to the required sources anyway, right? So that's reason number 7. It's a boomerang effect. Don't get yourself in a situation where you've gotten now to a point in your claim where the only person who can help you is the person who was authorized to help you in the first place. That's why what we do is we work in tandem with you, and we work in tandem with authorized VSOs that you can have. I've done many claims with veterans and helped many veterans where I was helping them get the information to the VSO that the VSO needed to make it stronger for them, right? Remember, when the VA rater gets your claim, it should tell a story, and it should be organized. And there should be no question as to what went on with you while you were in military service. All right. Number 8, the 8th reason why you should steer clear of certain VA claim companies and the warning sign is questionable qualifications. Questionable qualifications. Listen, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but think about it. The qualifications of a VSO or an accredited claims agent, in order to do that, you have to go through a training program, and it's quite lengthy, right? I think it's a CEU. I think it's 60 hours of training. I'll double check that and put the link in there to accredited agent, VA accredited agent training. There's a course that you take. I think it's from last I checked, it was correspondence, but it can also be offered in other venues through other training programs with different jobs and things of that nature. But I will put a link in the description. That training program is pretty lengthy, and you have to prove that there's a certain level of acumen and understanding that you have about the M121, about 38 CFR, and about the VA regulations that pertain to claims and adjudication of claims. Right? This is not a fly-by-night thing. This is actual training that people go through, right? And I know that some of these claims companies like, oh, you know, they always poo-poo VSOs. No, listen, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, these are legitimate folks. They go through legitimate training to do legitimate work on veterans' claims, and most of them are veterans themselves and trying to help vets get through this maze or this malaise of VA stuff, right? So it's legitimate training. So you have to ask yourself, if I go with this company, how many of the representatives that I talk to on the phone, or those who are the representatives that are assigned to do my claim, how qualified are they? What credentials do they have? Are they veterans? And even if they're veterans, what gives them the right to handle my claim? Right? Most of us, well, those of us who have cut our teeth into this, and those of us who have, done trial and error, and those of us who've been doing this for quite some time, we got into this out of brokenness from our own claim. I talked about in another video how I had a certain level of expectation, because I didn't know anything about the process. I had a certain level of expectation that a VSO from a veteran services organization, I had assumed that this individual would walk me through the process, and it was out of that brokenness, out of that deficiency, came a passion and a desire to be able to do this on my own. And I jumped into the M121 and 38 CFR and the VA.gov website like a madman, and it was not initially to start a business or do anything like that. It was to do my claim properly and correctly, and it was to help my fellow Marines, my fellow sailors, and my family and friends who were in the military, soldiers, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, the people who were around me in my circle. It was to help them to make sure that they had proper claim submission as well. And through that process, I learned a lot, and also through that process, there were so many changes. So questionable qualifications is number 8, because are they up to date with all of the changes with the VA? I know you see all these videos like, oh, big change. It's just, that's clickbait, okay? There's a big change. The VA, they're doing that because they want you to go with their company. Then they're trying to make you think that they have all the knowledge about that change. These changes are public knowledge. You can go to the public register and see every congressional change about the VA or any other agency. Please, don't let these people fool you into thinking that they have some sort of secret or cryptic knowledge. They don't. I'm here to tell you that they don't. Okay? It's all a play on your psychology. All right? It's all a play on your mind to make you think something that isn't actually true, or to make you think that they know something that they don't actually know. All right? Y'all trust me on this. Trust Unc on this. Please. Please. I'm one of them old heads, all right? I've been around the block a few times, particularly with this. And I want you to be educated, and I want you to be knowledgeable about what's coming. So, number 8 is questionable qualifications. Make sure that whoever's, man, before you sign this paperwork and stuff, like, pay attention to it. Look into it. Make sure that whatever you're signing or whatever you're reading or whatever service that they're going to be providing is legitimate. And I know y'all know how to do this. I know y'all are up on the game. I know y'all are smart. I know y'all are resourceful, intelligent, all of those things. Don't let these people make you think you're not, or that you don't know what's up. Okay? So, That's number 8. Number 9. Number 9 is you're just a number, not a name. At the end of the day, you're just a number, not a name. Here's why. There is a bottom line for these companies, right? They have to make profit. They need to make profit. And they have figured out certain schemes and figured out certain ways to make sure that they are profitable, regardless of what the adjudication of your claim is, right? I was thinking about, I saw something the other day where a company had claimed that they got so many hundreds of millions of dollars for it secured for veterans. Let me tell you what they're doing. One could look at that and think, oh man, so they've helped thousands of veterans. Well, they did give the number. You know, it was a particular number, and it wasn't thousands. It was like, you know, let's just say, just so I don't want people trying to look and figure out who it is. Let's just say it was somewhere between 100 and 500 veterans. Okay, we'll make it vague that way. All right, but let me tell you what they do. They will say they've secured hundreds of millions of dollars for veterans. What that means is they've worked with a few hundred veterans, right? And they've either gotten them an increase or they've gotten them an initial compensation rating, okay? And they're taking that rating. It's a dirty game, y'all, but I'm gonna get you there. They're taking that rating, okay? That dollar amount. Let's say it's, I don't know. Let's say it's $1,600 a month. $1,600 represents not only an increase from 90 to 100%, but $1,600 also represents, with dependents, a 50% rating, 50 or 60% rating, right? And I'm going off the dome here because, you know, I don't have it in front of me. You know, I'm just talking to you. The VA compensation percentages are also something that's readily available to the public, something you can figure out on your own. But let's use $1,600, and if you took $1,600 a month and you times it by 12 months, that would be something around a little bit less than $19,000. Let's say it's 19 grand, right? If you took that 19 grand for that 1 year, then what they do is they say, let's say a veteran's, I'm going to use 35, 45, and 55. If a veteran's 35 years old, okay, let's say they did retire, they just served, they're 35 years old, they'll make the assumption and say that veteran's probably going to live till 70, right? To their 70. So they'll now take that $19,000 and they'll times it, that $19,000 a year, and they'll times it by 35. And that's where they get, and they'll times it by 35, right? And then they'll have a number for that veteran, which maybe, let's say that's $500,000 or something, right? Or let's, you know, and then they'll take that $500,000 and they'll say, well, how many veterans did we get to this particular rating? Okay, we got, out of the 300 that we helped, we got 100 to that rating, right? So they times that by, and then they times that by 100, and they'll give, there's your 40 million right there, right? And then let's say the average range of the next veterans that they helped was 45, right? That means those veterans expected to live another 25 years. Right, and then so they'll take that, do the same calculation. Let's using $1,600. They'll do the same calculation, and they'll times it out, and they'll say, all right, that now you got another 30 million, 35 million, let's say. Once you do the calculations on that, then the next, let's say the last group of veterans is 55. They're only going to live about 20 more years, okay? Or 15 more years. That group of veterans, you do times that out, and maybe those 100 veterans are, maybe they come up on like 20 million, right? So you take the 20 million plus the 35 million, that's 55, plus the 40 million, right? That's 95, right? You know, round up. Yes, we've secured $100 million in fees, in compensation earnings for veterans. But that's projected out over the amount of years that they think the veteran's gonna live, all right? So don't get it twisted, y'all. These are projections and estimated numbers. What they aren't accounting for is loss in VA claim percentages. What they aren't accounting for is death. What they aren't accounting for is situations getting better or congressional changes in statute and regulations. Why are they not accounting for that? Because they don't care about that. They don't care about that aspect of it, right? They're not gonna educate you about that process. So don't get it twisted. You are just a number. You are not a name. All right. And finally, number 10 is there is no bridge to what's next. And what I mean by that is, listen, are these companies gonna coach you into everything else you need for transition into civilian life? Are these companies gonna help you with your career? Are they gonna help you establish when different changes come, right? If you have to do a higher level review, or if you have to do those things, are they committed? Is that one fee that they charge you? That one thing, whether it's a straight fee at the beginning, or whether it's times 3 or 4 or 5 multiple, whether it's a back pay deduction or something like that, like is that fee that you're charging, or that monthly payment that you're paying, or whatever it is you're doing, is that going to cover, does that cover continual claim help, right, in an expert way? Listen, kind of piggybacking on number 9, these people don't want to start a relationship with you. They care about you to the degree that the payment hits the account. And I hate to say that, because there are some real ones out there who do care, but they're not trying to build a long-term relationship with you. And the bridge to what's next doesn't exist. Why? Because going back to the boomerang effect, think about it. We've talked about the fact that there aren't enough VSOs to assist. Now, these VA claims companies are growing. If these VA claims companies are growing, what does that mean with regard to how the capacity they're gonna have if they are working with, say, 5, 6, 8, 10,000 veterans, and there are, studies, reports have shown that there are PACT Act veterans. There are PACT Act veterans who are out there who have not even broached to submit a claim. They're part of the burn pit registry. They haven't even started on a claim, right? So, and there are hundreds of thousands. I think the last report is 800,000 PACT Act veterans. Then that's just those who submitted. We don't even know how many more PACT Act veterans there are, whether it be from the Gulf War or whether it be from post 9/11. We don't know. Agent Orange, we have no idea. And they're out there, right? So it's a bridge to nowhere, right? The bridge for these VA claims companies only leads to nowhere, and they play on your emotions to make you think that all that matters is that monetary amount that you get. When you secure that first percentage. But it's not over, family. It ain't over. Like, when you get that first percentage, it really is just the beginning. It's just the start of a long journey of making sure you get all of the benefits you deserve. So if you're gonna go with these companies, hold their feet to the fire, right? I don't want to make it seem like that they're all doom and gloom. There are some people out there who are really dedicated to veterans. They love veterans. They're passionate about helping veterans get what they need. But you got to be aware of those who are out there who aren't passionate about veterans getting what they need, who don't care about veterans, who really only care about the money. Don't let them take you on the bridge to nowhere. You get out there in the middle of the ocean, or you think you're passing the bridge over a certain body of water, and then you get there, and then the bridge is halfway cut off because nobody was able to think through what you needed after that. It's a bridge to nowhere. So I hope this was helpful. This 5 more reasons. I am now where I need to be in order to pick up the food for my wife and I need to do that. And so, hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope that you get the help that you need. We're here again for you. But if you choose not to go with Royal Rock Counseling and Consulting, perfectly fine. If you just go with a VSO, that would be great. We encourage the use of VSOs. We don't have anything bad to say about them, other than if a VSO is messed you around and didn't do what their job required them to do and harmed the vet. And we don't encourage that kind of thing. But we encourage you to get the claims help that you need, that's comfortable for you, that's adequate, that's competent, that's sufficient, right? And we'll make sure that your records are current, accurate, and complete. And we do that kind of thing here at Royal Rock Counseling and Consulting. So love for you to go with us. If you decide not to, that's also great. Just please check out my videos. I'm going to be doing videos on all these things. So I got you either way. Whether you decide to come to our company and do work with us, or whether you just decide to watch my videos and get all the information for free. Both those things are perfectly fine. I'm so grateful to have this audience. I'm so grateful to have this platform of YouTube to be able to share with veterans all of the things that they need to level up in life. If you like this video, shoot a comment down below. Let me know what your experience has been with some of these VA claim companies. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them as well. All right, guys, gotta go, but live royally and live well. I'll see you in the next video.